So before you start your next activity, I wanted you to go over again the expressions with me. And here we have the question. The question that we learned how to say yesterday, which is quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Right? And the answer to the question is il est blank heure. It is blank o'clock. Okay. Then we learned all these expressions that are here in pink and that I'm going to define. Midi, remember, means noon. Minuit means midnight. Du matin means in the morning. Du soir means in the evening. De l'après-midi means in the afternoon. Et demi means and a half, or as we know, 30 minutes. A quart means and a quarter, or as we know, 15 minutes. And then moins le quart is minus the quarter. Minus the quarter. I'm just going to write quarter. And that is 15 minutes as well. Negative 15 minutes, let's say. Okay. So what I want to clarify with you is these last two, as well as a couple other things. But first, let's start with this last two. So I have down here, it is a quarter after 3. That means it is 3 and a quarter. 3:15 is what we would say in English. When we say it is a quarter after 3, we understand it as 3:15. This is how you would say it in French. Il est 3:15. 3:15. Now you could say 3:15, but quart is one of those ways as well. Okay. Another thing, something we say in French that we don't say in English is il est 3:00 moins le quart, which in English we are literally saying it is 3 o'clock minus a quarter. So that actually equals, even though the 3 is there and the word quarter, 3/4, the actual answer is 2:45. You have to be careful with this, the minus, the moins. You could say 2:45, but the French like to be extra fancy and say minus a quarter. So watch out for those questions in the next activity. That is what I wanted to clarify in terms of these. But I also want to clarify to you how we tell whether we're talking about the AM or the PM. OMG. So if I say il est, let's say 8h. I'm going to write it out. Il est 8h du matin. Am I saying it's 8 a.m. or p.m.? This doesn't tell us, right? But this du matin does. It tells us that we're talking about the morning. You would say du matin. if I wanted to talk about the PM, so hold on, let me write this here. AM. If I want to talk about the PM, because it's 8, we would have to say evening. So 8 heures du soir. Du soir. And that tells us it's in the PM. Okay. We don't really say 8 o'clock in the afternoon. We would say 8 o'clock in the evening. If the number was different, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we would say de l'après-midi, which would be afternoon. And it is PM in English. Now, in French, we do not use PM or AM. We say du matin, du soir, de l'après-midi. We don't use these. Okay. Another way is something called official time. But we will talk about that another time, not right now. You don't have to worry about that at this moment. Just worry about knowing this and this. Okay? Now, you can start on your next activity once you think you have it all figured out. I will warn you, the next activity has clocks. So, hopefully you know your what do you call it? Was it integers or factors of 5? Whatever. I'm not a math teacher. Hopefully you know how to multiply by 5. Okay? And if you don't, then you need to go on YouTube and figure out how to read a clock. Otherwise, you're not going to be very successful in the next activity. Okay. Au revoir.